where ideas mix. Ideas mix on this stage, ideas mix in this room, but you know where else ideas mix? Ideas mix in our communities, in our neighborhoods. That's what cities are for. Cities are for people to come with clashing and new ideas and push the envelope and create new things, create knowledge, create innovation, find new and better and more exciting ways of living together. And I hope that that's what all of you have been thinking about today. Anyone who has ever heard me speak anywhere about anything knows that I always talk about the importance of citizenship. I always talk about the number 3 that I wear on my lapel. 3 things for Calgary. A way for every single one of us to commit every single year to do 3 things for our community. Because you know what? Maybe this is dangerous to say this in an election year, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's not about the mayor. It's not about the government. It's not about business or nonprofit organizations. All of us do our own part to try and make our community better, but it's actually about every single one of us, every single citizen, understanding that we've got the power in our hands, in our heart, in our minds to change the community, to make the community better. And I hope that's what all of you take away today. So today, I want you to be inspired by all that's happened on this stage, but the inspiration has to go somewhere. I hope that every single one of you takes that inspiration and recommits yourself to use what you've learned today to make life better for your neighbors, to make life better for this great community that we all share. Now, I'm on stage at a TEDx event, so I cannot resist telling one story. Just one. Those of you who've seen me on stages and know about how I speak, as you know that I always tell stories about people I meet in my travels through our great community. And I want to share a new one with you. A couple of weeks ago, I was at McDonald's. No judging. It was McHappy Day. It was the day when McDonald's donates a portion of their proceeds to Ronald McDonald House. I was there with my very good friend, Ronald McDonald. He is an outstanding guy. He really is a consummate professional. He wears the same shoes as Alderman John Marr. It's very cool. And I could make the obvious joke about clowns and politicians, but I won't. But I did something I've always wanted to do, which is I leapt over the counter at McDonald's. I learned you're not supposed to put your feet on the McDonald's counter. They don't like that. But I got behind the counter, and I was serving some customers, and I got to chatting with the woman who was standing next to me actually doing the work. She had a name tag that said assistant manager. And I said, how long have you worked at this McDonald's? And she said, 25 years. When I came to this country from India, my family and I moved to this neighborhood and I needed a job. So I walked around and these guys were willing to hire me without any Canadian experience. So I started in this job. And you know, my husband had a little more education than me, she said, and he was able to get a slightly better job, but we worked hard. We worked hard in this city. And now my daughter is a lawyer. My son just graduated from engineering. And she said, you know, I probably don't need to work anymore, but I like to work. I like to work, and I like to work here. I think of the people in this store as my family. I live in this neighborhood. My customers are also my neighbors. And I know these guys took a chance on me. And I like to continue to work here. And I thought about that. And I thought, you know, there aren't very many places in the world where someone who looks different than the mainstream, who worships in a different way, who has a family that maybe looks a little bit different, can work at McDonald's for 25 years and have a daughter who's a lawyer and a son who's an engineer and have, with her family, an amazing life in an amazing place. We've created something special here. We've created something incredibly special in Canada, in Alberta, and right here in Calgary. The promise of our community is that every one of us, regardless of where we come from or what we look like or where we worship or how much money we have, every single one of us in every single corner of this community has the chance and the opportunity to live a great life. That's something that's in all of our hands. That's something to make sure that we fight for every day, to make sure that all that come behind us also have the opportunity to fulfill that great promise of this community and make this city even better. So